Alright, Gangington. Welcome back to the White Lotus Society. Um, last episode, the gang began their split up. They began their split up different quests in different areas of the world. So, Nighlin, Crosswisington, went out back towards Brunel to train with Mary and Terminus. Lamisk stayed back in the Northern Wind to engage with a spiritual pilgrimage to a mountain in the Northern Wind with his followers of his church. And Lake and Osei went towards the western wasteland desert to find a portal to the underworld so that Lake can resolve his little corruption arm, nightmare arm issue. And the last session ended with you two being attacked by a pack of monsters. So therefore, we're starting with Lamisk. So we already rolled your corruption check. So you got your one stack. Let's see. You heard about the pilgrimage that Bishop Stewart went on with his followers back during the whole Augustine thing, and you were like, "I'm gonna go there once once my arm is healed up enough for me to like move again." Your arm's still fucked up, but you're good. When you had some prayers last session before you headed out, you got some armor. You're a little bit kitted. So you and your team, you headed out. You found this cave. In the cave, you found a note from presumably a member of your family, your son, looking to find you at some point in the future. And you went down this path and started walking towards this giant towering mountain towards the northeastern side of the Northern Wind. You are walking forward on this path with your followers. You found, you saw like a little bit of like, bodies of monsters and stuff as you were walking by. And you continue walking this path after seeing these dead monsters.
Can I can
Um,
I can I do a prayer?
you can do it. You can do a prayer. Also, I will allow, since you like preemptively did the prayers last session and like you prepared and got your like potions and stuff as well. Like you can keep all the stat bonuses that you have right now because it's the same day still.
Okay.
Well, technically it's not the same day, but I'm allowing it to be the same day rather. Technically, you've been on this journey for like a few days now.
So I called my congregation to me. Let us take a break. My followers get some water. And I say, let's bow our heads. Lord Goddess of Abraham, Lord
Oh, yeah.
of the world, my mother, my wife, and my grandma too. We stand at the foot of this journey, feet firm, hearts ready. We don't know every turn, but we know the one who walks beside us. We ain't climbing just another mountain. We're climbing toward purpose, toward promise, toward you. Let every step be filled with hope. Let every breath be praise. And when fear whispers, remind us you didn't bring us this far to leave us. We're walking with courage. We're walking with love. And we're walking by faith, not by sight. Amen. So,
Go ahead and roll me a little wisdom check. Go ahead and roll me a little wisdom check. Yeah, we can say that you got a little bit of extra endurance from that. Go ahead and give yourself 5 more endurance on your mod that you got.
cool.
We'll say you got a little bit of extra endurance from that. So, as you're walking forward after this prayer, you've encountered a few bodies of monsters at this point, presumably, defeated by the group that had walked forward previously with Bishop Stewart and them. And you come across, not blocking the path still goes, but you'd have to, like, go around a little bit. But in the way is a pack of 5 pretty, like, big silver wolves. They're, like, bigger than the average wolf. You could classify them as a monster. And they are in the middle of your path, staring at you and your followers. What do you do?
I look at my followers. Let's see what I have in my inventory. Oh my god. Uh, Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking.
You're all good, dude. Take your time.
Yeah,
I'm
take your time.
thinking I want to try to combat this. We got 5 big ass wolves.
Bro got a cinematic thrown at him. You. It is fine to take time to think about it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm-
Also, sorry if we heard typing. I was inputting something else for later.
Blow up your head. Blow up your head.
No, don't blow up my head.
Let's see.
If you want, like, a rough estimate for the size of these 5 wolves, they're like probably, like, bigger than a small child, bigger than they're pretty fucking big.
Oh my god. It made me think of one kid in particular. Oh my god. And big beefy boy. God.
Is that motherfucker like 6'8" and 8 years old?
He needs. All I know is he needs to be
He's
on
playing
the
O-line.
lineman. He needs to be a lineman.
Linebacker.
Today. You don't even worry about nothing but being some type of lineman. He's even protecting. He is a protector. So okay, so let me ask you: could I do a world of forms illusion, maybe, to dissuade these wolves from attacking us? Like can I conjure some sort of a bigger wolf or big ass bear? And
Yeah,
they run away.
you can attempt. Roll me a wisdom check.
Okay.
You I will roll just like a perception thing for them. 50. Yeah, that's unfortunately. If you'd have gotten like a, I guess like a, computer rolled what, like a 40 there, maybe a 40 something, it would have worked. I won't say it doesn't not work in full, but it just doesn't have its max effect, I guess. So you cast like this, visage of a greater wolf in front of them. This ghostly apparition that only they can see. The max effect is that it takes like physical shape, and so like everybody sees it. But the wolves see it, and they are not necessarily frightened by this greater wolf. But I will allow you. What do you want your wolf to do here?
So it is a physical.
It is
So
correct. It is. To them, it's like somewhat physical. To them, they like see another wolf. To you, you see like a spectral ghost like wolf, and your followers don't see anything.
I guess let's do like a big howl. Let's see. A big howl, I guess. Because like I don't think it can affect them, right? I can't just like charge it at them like uh water shock burn jutsu.
No, you cannot. Yeah, you can make it. Yeah, it howls. It lets out this loud, thunderous howl in the vicinity. Your followers do hear the howl. Um, as the area is filled with the sound of this like ghostly apparition screaming towards the sky. Not necessarily in an aggressive way, but just to signal like, hey, let us pass. To which the wolves do move out of the way of the path. They do like, they look at you and your group, and they look at the spectral wolf, and they like back off a little. That being said, you roll just a D100 for me.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. No monsters hear the howl that this wolf let out.
Hey, twin.
No monsters are drawn towards you. So the wolves step aside. You and your group, continue past. The wolves do not. Oh, what do you want to do?
Can I say freaking yo, Keaton is peed his pants.
Keaton's scared. Keaton's scared over there.
Head of security.
Head of security's terrified.
But it's okay. His boy Elijah was like, man, it's okay, bro. It's okay. He passed him in the back. Gives him extra pair of pants.
He's terrified. Keaton's the head of security, and he is terrified. The wolves do not look aggressive as you pass. As you pass, it seems more like they are simply observing. They do not seem threatened nor threatening. They do not, show any signs of ill will. They let you pass totally fine. So you continue forward, and at this point, you've been, walking for a few days. We're skipping through this a little bit because it's a long way to this mountain. This mountain's huge, even from this distance, right? So it takes a while to get there. And so, you're walking through this like, you were in this kind of like snowy forest area that is kind of like symbolic with the northern wind, but you're now kind of entering this like larger open plain. There's not that much foliage, there's not that many plants, there's some rocks, there's like a clearing that you're walking into between like smaller mountain like hills kind of. I want you to roll a dex check for me as you're passing into this clearing.
Oh my god. Come on. Ooh, it's a big number.
So you do notice very far off in the distance somewhere. You cannot tell exactly where, but you do get the sense that you can't tell the direction, but you can tell that there is a presence watching you.
Oh my god.
You cannot tell if it is further in. You cannot tell if it's from a direction that you're coming from. You can't tell any of that.
Let me role play this. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm in the clearing. We're just walking, and I sense this presence, and I'm like, oh my god. Jesus Christ. And I bust out another prayer because I'm about my ooh, oh my god. It's not my guys for another break because I know they're tired too. Oh. 'Cause they sense my they sense my unease.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna say that not Keaton. I was gonna say that Barrett was gonna walk up and ask what was going on.
It was Barry comes up. What's wrong? Like, look, I sense a presence, but Heavenly Mother, we're almost there. The Lord is still hard. Tempted to turn back, tempted to sit down, but you called us higher. I turned the camera on. Well, the camera's already been on.
Yeah. You did clarify that you took cameras with you guys.
Yeah. You called us to press, to believe, to overcome. So now, Lord, light a fire in our souls. Let praise be louder than pain. Let hope be heavier than doubt. We believe you are still moving, still guiding, and still loving. Let our faith outshine our fear. Let our voices rise like the mountain we climb, because our goddess is able. Our goddess is with us, and we will not be moved. I point forward, upward. Gather you guys, gather your things, breaks over. If this is a challenge sent from us by our Lord, just like those wolves, it too the gate will open. The gate will open. So let's go. So renewed vigor. I take this challenge. I'm thinking this in my head. I take this challenge. After this, I'm gonna go see one of my children. But right now, I gotta go see if we will find God at the precipice, at
So
the summit of the mountain.
you can roll wisdom again, but I will warn you that in order to get another buff, it will have to surpass your last prayer. So good luck.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was kind of doing.
That was
I was
close.
doing-
That was close. Hey, almost. I respect it.
It's okay. I was really just doing it for the
No,
thematic.
for the thematic, absolutely. I respect that. I was just willing to give it to you because that's what prayer does. So you continue forward through this small little like rocky clearing, and as you continue forward, you guys can continue forward for a few more hours past that. It's still a pretty wide open plain past that. And as you're going through, you're starting to notice that not only were there more monster bodies on, the road, but you're starting to realize that the monsters are becoming gradually greater. They are no longer just your average typical monster. Some of these are nightmares. Some of these are the bodies of what appear to be soulless. And along the path, you've also found, which you knew you would inevitably find, some bodies of some of the monks that had been led here by Bishop Stewart. You know, it's an arduous, difficult journey, multi-day trek. You expected this, but it's still
Mhm.
unfortunate to see. As you're passing forward,
I give many prayers for their souls as we walk along.
you're seeing, these greater monsters are kind of, it's a little bit unsettling. And then, you see a like a bridge between like some large rocky hills, and you realize upon like truly looking forward, that past that bridge is a path that leads directly, like starting to lead up the mountain. You have finally, after multiple days of a journey, you are seeing up close this like great mountain before you. You see a path in front of you leading towards it. It kind of curves to the left behind a large waterfall and then heads up. However, you also see a cave nearby to your right, that has like a trail of blood leading from the road into it. You can choose to follow this road and continue up the mountain, or you can choose to follow this trail of blood. What is it, Lemisk, that you would like to do?
Can I inspect the blood?
You can roll dex.
Okay.
68. I'll allow that. That's a solid roll.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I add?
hmm.
Can I add? Street knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally forgot about that. You're right. You get the +5. Yeah, that's fine. Over 70,
Cool.
that's absolutely fine.
All right, cool.
So realistically, good call. Realistically, you look at this blood and you can see that like it's not entirely dried. It's like it couldn't have been here for more than like say 8 hours ish. Like this is fairly recent blood.
Oh my god. Let me taste the blood. I roll endurance.
Jesus Christ. You're not Shimizuku, bro. Yeah, roll endurance.
Is this human blood?
It is human blood. You are lucky. I don't know why you took that risk as somebody that's corrupted.
Exactly. That's why I took the risk.
Good call. Yeah, it's human blood. Totally human blood. No corruption in it whatsoever. You can tell that this is roll me an int check, right quick.
What the? Yo,
That's tough. That's tough.
tripping.
That's tough. But regardless, I mean, you can tell it's totally normal human blood. It is not like it's. You're lucky that this was the bad roll. You know what I mean? Out of all the bad rolls you could have had,
bro, this is actually pretty funny though. 9? Are you kidding me?
9 is crazy. This is crazy. Because realistically, if you'd have rolled like even like a 60, I probably would have been like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, you can have it. But 59 is, come on.
Come on, crazy.
But yeah, you can tell it's human blood, not corrupted, and is recent.
All right, we're going that path because obviously someone is in trouble and they need help.
So you would choose to go into the cave.
I went to the cave. Somebody needs help.
Okay, you choose to walk into the cave, and the scene will now switch. To one Mr. Crosswisington.
Yes.
So, Crosswise.
Yeah.
You have been training for the past week. While Lemisk has been on his journey. You've been training the past week. Learning some stuff from Terminus. You've fought Mary tens, maybe hundreds of times at this point. And you are like you've won like 5 of them, which to you that's a big deal, right? You're like, oh, I managed to win like 5 of them. You've gotten your you've learned some living weapon techniques from fighting her. So after you've finished fighting for the day, it's been like you're chilling. It's been big chill mode for the past few hours. You haven't fought her at all today, and she's kind of like been caring less about it because everybody here at Brunel's starting to get back into mission mode, trying to get things set up while they're like 2 of their stars are gone. And so you're kind of just chilling, waiting to see what your next assignment is, because you've been just kind of waiting on that. And you're chilling in the knowledge center, and then Terminus walks in. And Terminus, he rolls up to you, sees you sitting in the corner, and he is like, "Oh, yeah, I was looking for you.
Afternoon, boss.
Hey, so, we have a mission for you that I've been kind of plotting for a few days now. So, there's been a situation going on in the Golden Age Society. And we've got to make a move, because we've already kind of shaken things up by the whole Northern Wind thing, but also we weren't able to make as much progress as we wanted because of the whole, Augustine stuff. So, something has opened up. I'm going to send you in alone. Realistically, we would usually send in a team for something like this, but we're kind of short-staffed, and also, it doesn't need to be done stealthily, but it's better to send 1 person or 2 people in. Like, we can't have a big squad going.
I see.
So, I've got a guy that works in the Golden Age Society. He gives me information. He's part of our spy network. Goes by the name of Momo. So,
Like the peach?
yeah, like the peach, yeah. And he he sent me a message probably like 2 or 3 days ago that said the diamonds and the White Lotuses are fighting on the border of the Golden Age Society. They're fighting specifically for territory in the Chained Lands. And so because of this, in the meantime, Squad 1, it's kind of weird, because the Diamonds sent out like 2 of their squads for that fight. So they're very short-handed. So Squad 3 has been covering all the like messes across their entire territory. But the thing is, the Golden Age Society is home to the biggest country in the world. One team is not going to cover all that distance. And Squad 1 told Squad 3 to leave some areas. They've had like a weird monster problem on a few of their like border cities recently. And they told Squad 3 to leave it so that they can come in for let the monsters get stronger and build up more fame so that they get more points for killing them later. But that means they're leaving it completely unattended. Which means we could go in there, get rid of those monsters, get the notoriety for it, and claim some of their territory as our own.
Sounds like a good plan.
So, I'm going to send you on a boat over to this little town on the edge of the Golden Age Society. It's a little port town. It kind of works as the border between the Theosophical Society and the Golden Age Society. But realistically, that only matters if you choose to go west for any reason. But I'll be sending you on a boat over there. You're going to meet Momo. and you guys are gonna go see if you can do anything about those 3 towns.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, it shouldn't take more than a week. Realistically, I have faith in your capabilities as a fighter, because that's what we really need, is somebody to fight. And you just got done training with Mary, so might as well put it into action.
That makes sense.
So yeah. And then he walks with you over to the dock, unless you need to get anything on the way out.
Nope.
Okay, then he will walk with you over to the dock and put you on the same boat that you actually went out to the Chainlands in, and you head off to the continent of the Golden Age Society, or the country of the Golden Age Society rather. And again, we're gonna make the boat section fast because the sea travel doesn't matter. However, there's one part of the sea travel that could matter. Roll me a check. D100, raw D100. Fuck. Never mind. It does matter. Okay. My bad. I had more faith in you. I thought you could roll a 20. So as you guys are going, you're in a relatively big boat. The Graham's disciples are actually they own one of the larger docks, just period.
Yeah.
On the edge of their territory, because they need to send out so many there's monster parts and stuff that are only obtainable in this part of the world. They send it out. That's how they make their money and stuff. They do a lot of trading. And so you're on a really solid boat, and as you are as you guys are making your way out, you've been on sea for about 2 days. You've been told that you have about a day or 2 left of travel, depending on weather. And as you're going, I'm going to roll a raw D100 to see which one this is. Okay. Well, good news is I don't think this will kill you. But bad news is we're gonna have to see what you can do here. So as you guys are moving forward, your captain picks up a weird signal on his tracker. I will roll int for him. It's the only one of 2 stats he has that actually matters. And he cannot tell what this monster is. He can tell that there is a weird signature that is being pulled up that he can detect heading towards you guys as you speak. It looks very large from the radar. What will you do to brace for this situation?
How big's the boat and how many staff are on the boat?
The boat is big enough to have a decent amount of staff. You've probably got about 20 people on board aside from yourself. It's like a small, not small. It's like
a multi-deck pirate ship kind of
yeah,
thing.
kind of. It's like a very large trade boat, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Most of it's staff, right? There's not a lot of tourists or something.
No, it's all staff. It's all staff
Okay.
and or guards
Yeah.
for that staff.
Okay. Good. Interesting.
There are some weapons on board, your typical. It's actually more than your typical. They ain't doing no cannons. They're doing they're doing cannons, but it's like modern cannons. It's not cannonballs. They got rockets and shit.
I'll get into kind of my military bag, and I'll start calling to arms, a couple of people to hold fast, hold the ropes, brace for impact, and I'll hold rope myself, to maybe for the rudder, for whatever I'm closest to, just kind of make sure the ship remains stable and above water.
For sure.
To the degree that I can help.
Okay. Roll endurance for me.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
That's perfectly fine. Damn, your endurance is fucking high.
Yep.
So you, as the boat starts tilting and turning and, everything starts going a bit crazy, you kind of like you're not the only person still standing. A couple people manage to like hold on and, you know, secure themselves, but some people get thrown off the boat, and a giant, probably about 3 people get thrown off the boat. People are being flung around, and the ship starts shaking. And okay, all right, that's thank God. I literally, your check was a 20 and you rolled a 2. The other check was a 25 and it got 23, and this one was a 30 and it actually passed. Because it's like, what is the worst case in these scenarios?
I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah. So you actually managed to, and the boat didn't flip over, so that's good.
We love not capsizing.
Yeah, but a large chunk of the side of the boat is taken out. For dramatic effect, we'll say it's the side of the boat directly next to you. And as that happens, you see a giant tentacle with an eye on it looking directly at you. Start like going over the boat through that hole, and you see this giant monster like start slowly appearing behind the boat, very large, far larger than your ship. And this is, we'll say that Terminus would have given you this knowledge. I should have had him bring it up beforehand. That's on me, I forgot. But this is a nightmare kraken. The ocean, there is like 2 that are monitored in existence in the ocean that are known about. And it's just this, nobody knows where it came from. It's this giant nightmare creature, like one of the larger nightmare creatures. There are larger ones, very large nightmares that exist. And it is like what they do is like, they're this, how do I explain it? They're this kind of like multi-eyed, like tentacled kraken creature, with like eyes on its tentacles, and it's gross. It's fucked up. And they are kind of notorious for being like uncatchable. Only one person? No, 2 people have ever like caught any and brought them in for the the league. And one time was Graham's disciples. But yeah, very, very infamous creature, very strong creature. What do you do as this tentacle from the Nightmare Kraken starts to like wrap around the ship from the hole next to you?
I lunge off the ship and punch it in the eye.
Roll me agi, man. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, roll me agi. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, you jump off the boat, as it's like, you know, the greater form of the Kraken starts appearing above the water, and as one of its eyes starts breaching the surface, you jump off, catching the creature somewhat off guard. Very slow, very large creature. Large ocean creature. It's slow. Like, Agitex is easy. And as you jump off, you punch directly into its eye as it's beginning to, you know, come up. And you kind of like roll me strength, actually. Holy fuck. Yeah, as you punch, you launch a hit directly into its eye and completely blind it. See, somewhat, you know, in a slashing or like piercing-esque motion as a sword, like lodging your arm in its eye, and slowly pulling it back out as you know, kind of take foot on this very slippery, like, top of the Kraken's head. I'm gonna have you roll agi for every move you make from here on out to see if you slip or not. Pretty low check. You've taken out one of its eyes, and it's starting to like thrash around. And the tentacle does like take itself off of the ship, but as its head starts coming more and more out of the water, the tentacle that it had above the water is now heading directly towards you.
Let's seems fine. I will. I guess I will kind of I will. Yeah, I guess from this position, I'll just lunge for whatever eyes I can see closest to me. If there is one that's kind of away from the swing of that tendril, then I'll kind of like make way for that as much as possible. Basically, just looking for every weak point. I'm just gonna jab my hand all the way through whatever eyes I see.
Okay. So roll dex to see how many like of the weak spots you can see, and then roll agi for like seeing if you can stay at. Is that dex?
Yeah.
That
Agi.
Okay. You keep your footing just fine, and you can spot around 2 eyes on the tentacle that's heading towards you. One of them is directly on your location, like it would be meeting with you. It probably would like curl in a little bit so it doesn't directly hit its own eye. And then the other one is like it gets closer to like barely being on the surface. It's more so like, you know, somewhat underwater.
That makes sense.
So because of that, you can roll me endurance for this tentacle coming in to hit you, and then roll me strength for hitting the eye as it hits you, I guess. Holy fuck, you're like that. You're just like that. Yeah. So okay. All right. Somebody's gonna get a fucking paycheck from this one. Good God. So the tentacle starts coming in and wrapping around your around your body. As it does, you you start charging up this like punch. You start charging up this punch. Kind of like, you know, Mary-esque based off of like some of the fights that you've had. And you start like charging up this punch with like some of your spiritual energy. And as this tentacle comes in to hit you, you, despite being hit, just immediately punch the eye, causing the Kraken to start like freaking out. Because you've managed to take out 2 eyes in like a very little amount of time. Roll me agi to see if you keep your footing. And also I'm gonna roll endurance on this giant beast to see what happens. Okay. So you destroy this eye right in front of you, almost cutting it with your arm, with this charged up punch, causing it to start writhing around in pain. But after a little bit, it's no longer like it's fine. It was caught off guard. And now the Kraken itself is like starting to come more out of the water. As it has breached the surface past a certain amount, one of the guys on the boat has what looks to be like basically a makeshift, like, you know, somewhat rocket launcher-esque weapon on his shoulder. And he tells you to jump back on the ship as you're now like somewhat towering above where the ship is. And he plans on like shooting one of the eyes of the Kraken as you jump off. So roll me agi again. Yeah, you that's hilarious. I mean you're fine. This is like the agi check to fail. You try to jump over and you're far enough above the deck for it to like not matter whether you truly make the jump or not. The problem is more so for your landing. And so you try to jump and you eat shit. Go ahead and roll endurance. You like try to jump off and you miscalculate the distance because the Kraken itself is still moving around. Okay, that's fine. The Kraken itself is still moving around as you try to jump off. You jump and you aren't necessarily like gauging the distance well because of the movement, and you end up like, you know, falling on your shoulder, but it's fine. You like kind of brush it off. Like it hurts a little bit, but it's not like you're chilling, you know.
Yeah.
And this guy shoots his rocket. I'm gonna just give him like a flat 20 for a dex. Okay, I'll allow that to hit. And he shoots and hits this kraken directly in one of its like main eyes on the actual head of the body. And hitting that eye, now three of this, kraken's plethora of eyes, has like been, shattered. Is kind of like, not only is it giga scarred with like the two on its main body that are already destroyed, but it's like it's starting to actually kind of realize that this could be a dangerous situation. I'm gonna have it roll endurance again for this. Okay. Despite that, it is not phased by the damage it has taken, and continues to attack the ship, that's kind of crazy that the endurance checks being high is actually just better for you. Because at first I didn't think you had a chance of killing it, but somebody just rolls the best rolls I've ever seen in my life. And so it's attacking your ship still, and now it's very angry.
I'd like to pull a piece of wood out that's been broken off, just like whatever sharp, and start like throwing javelins at it in its eyes that I can see.
Yeah, you start throwing the fucking Thorkel, wooden bridge javelins at him. Hitting him in the eye. Go ahead and roll me dex for your first one to see what happens. I'll let you throw as many as I didn't say I'll let you throw as many as you roll over 70 for. So unfortunately, that does not hit because of the movement of the kraken. It's now moving somewhat faster out of anger, and obviously trying to avoid getting its eyes hit. You throw this piece of wood at one of its eyes, and it deflects it with one of its tentacles. And as it does, it starts directly barreling towards the ship. It is now slinging two tentacles towards the ship. Both of these have one visible eye on the part of the tentacles that's like attacking the ship or like slamming down on the deck. What do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go for those as much as I can. Like jab my arms into the eyes. If it feels like it's like kind of further out, then maybe I'll try to somewhat jump in and kind of catch on to the tentacle where it's closer to an eye. So that way, if it curls inward, obviously it'd be pulling me into the eye that I'm gonna stab.
Yeah. Roll me Agi to see if you can catch these eyes. You gotta roll over an 80 here. That's hilarious. That's crazy. Yeah, you cannot catch both of these tentacles. You can catch one though. You are running towards one of these tentacles as you see both of them start slamming down. And you're kind of underestimating how fast its tentacles are now that it like perceives you as a threat. And you run towards just one of the tentacles as it like slams down. It completely wrecks another side of the ship, with one of the tentacles. But at this point, one of them has come down directly where you are, and you take hold of this tentacle. Roll strength. Damn. You take hold of this tentacle, and I'll give you benefit of the doubt. I will let it roll strength right now, because it's not actually that strong. It's just very durable. Damn, that was almost good for you. But it slings you off as you try to grab hold. It now knows that you can do damage to it. So like it slings you off in its recoil from like in that tentacle recoiling. A few of the guys on the ship tried to launch some weapons at the tentacle as it was attacking, and I'm gonna roll to see if they hit it. They hit it. So they fired some of the weapons on the ship towards this tentacle as it came down, and despite slinging you away, the tentacle itself manages to take a lot of damage, and you see the kraken kind of like reel back, like its main body reels back as this tentacle is like still on the deck after throwing you. I'll give you the chance to, we'll say you recover from being thrown and this tentacle's still on the deck if you want to do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna launch myself into the eyes as much as possible. I'm not worried about my own body safety in this context.
Okay. Yeah, you can just
can
just barrel at the eye on the tentacle. Then you can go barrel at that. Just roll strength, because like it's kind of like low. Like if we're being RPG about it, it's stunned because it actually got the attack from the followers. Yeah, that's fine. You're able to like kind of dig into this eye and like rip it out. As it's like writhing in pain from the hit that had happened beforehand. And then it starts like, it lets out these like loud, blood curdling, like almost siren-esque screams as you rip this eye out of the socket on its tentacle. And as you do, I will have them roll to attack again. They do not get the hit, or as big of a hit as last time. They guaranteed get the hit because this motherfucker was already stunned. But they hit its tentacle, seemingly trying to, like, you know, the people on your crew are like, maybe we can cut the tentacle off, but it's like a little too durable for the weapons they have on board. So they do some damage to this tentacle. It's very obviously like very like, you know, destroyed, but it's not like any close to being like cut through, I guess.
Gotcha.
The Kraken itself is like kind of like in a weird dazed state because this is a being that has never felt that much pain, like, you know, the apex predator of what is this world's oceans kind of meeting a match that can cause it like crazy physical pain. So it's kind of in a dazed state, and it looks like it's kind of like struggling a little bit. What do you choose to do while this thing is in its fit?
I want to go to, you know, like the biggest spot where I think it might have some organs, you know, go as far in as I can. Go in there for some organs, like stab and rip apart things I can get in there.
You can try to you'd have to roll for this, but the best you got is like its main head, like the, you know, what you can see above the water with like a few of the eyes visible, is like towering over the ship currently. If you wanted to, you know, Shadow the Colossus run up the tentacle that's on board right now and try to get up there, you would have to roll like 2 agi checks for it. But you could attempt to get to the top of his head and see if you could like cut through.
Sure. Yeah, if I like fail a bit, like I'll go for whatever I can get to that's like a body part so I can go through from there. My first one.
That's you running up the tentacle.
How many times I'm usually just rolling the same type of roll? I'm gonna just manual it.
Holy shit. Yeah, so you Shadow the Colossus, you see this tentacle on board while it's kind of in this dazed state, you know, very heavily bleeding, and you run up this tentacle, causing it to panic in the process. It attempts to throw you off, but you manage to, you know, claw your fingers into the side of its head and begin climbing up as it's trying to throw you off, but you're just batting off every attempt for it to be able to do that. It doesn't know how to respond to that. And you climb to the top of its head. While you're up there, I want you to roll me strength, unless there's anything else you want to do before going in.
I'll use Mad with Power on top of it.
You can use Mad with Power, yeah. You use Mad with Power, roll me strength. Mad with Power gives you like a... Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you're able to make a cut in. You still yourself as you bring down like a punch directly on the top of its head, and as you release this punch into its head, you use Mad with Power. You get like slight, like, you know, stability, a slight loss of stability. You're a little bit more used to Mad with Power these days, so it doesn't make you lose full control. But you start feeling just like an irrational anger as you launch a punch directly into the crown of this giant kraken skull directly beneath you. And as you do, I will roll endurance for this creature. That's worse than earlier. We'll say that you actually do make a like slash that causes like significant damage, but it does not. That's actually beneficial. Because the thing is, if it rolls low endurance, it's supposed to run away. So the fact that it's kept on rolling high is crazy. So you do that, and it's not like it hurts the creature, but it's not phased by it. It is willing to attempt to attack you from the top of its head yet again. But before that, roll Agi to see if it throws you off or not.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, it throws you off. But with that, it's like a lurching forward type thing. So it throws you off towards the ship. We'll roll to see if they do not attack the creature. The guys on board kind of been lacking today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
They really are making you do it all by yourself. And you're thrown off. As you're thrown off, you in the middle of the air, it launches another tentacle towards you. What do you do in response to this tentacle coming towards you?
I'll like jump onto it.
If you want to attempt to
get closer to its body.
Yeah, if you want to attempt to grab onto it, roll strength. Holy shit, man! Yeah, it tries to hit you out of the air with its tentacle, barreling full towards you, and as it does, you grab onto it and latch onto it, and like dig your hands into it. And as you do, it kind of like freaks out. It reels its tentacle back, and as it does that, you jump back onto the top of its head. After its pain response, you can attempt to attack it again, the same spot you hit before.
Yeah, I'll just launch a flurry of hands into it. Mad with power.
Are we gonna mad with power aura into the top of this Kraken skull?
Yeah, I just want to dig a hole in there and get in.
Roll me strength. Go for it. Roll me strength. So you are attacking the same spot. You cut into its head yet again. This time you can tell that you've made like a mark that's like enough to cause like actual internal damage. This endurance roll has to be like crazy high. Oh my fucking god. Okay, 125 by the way. So it doesn't back down. And it now realizes like, okay, this motherfucker's just gonna keep getting up here somehow. So it sends multiple of its tentacles like barreling towards the top of its own head to attempt to hit you. We'll say it sends 3, all barreling directly towards you, in the middle of you trying to finish off this like punch flurry into its brain. What do you do in response to these 3 things heading towards you?
I will. That's interesting. I will kind of slice my hand as much as I can, like sort of how you'd cut a sail on a ship with a knife.
Yeah.
While like sliding down its back if I can, to sort of avoid this while also getting in a position where maybe I think the tentacles are maybe a little trickier for it to get to. It's hard to know exactly where it's coming from, but I'll slice.
I'll allow that. Go ahead and roll me strength again to see if you're actually able to hold on back there, though. You're unreal, man. You're unreal. Yeah. So you see these tentacles heading towards you, and you jump back off the creature, sticking your hand out and attempting to release this cut into the back of its head. As you do, you like kind of grab on as you're doing that, and your hand like goes through the back of this creature's skull, causing it to like freeze up. It tenses up from the hit. Roll me. You know what? What do you want to do here? Let me know.
If I slowed down a little bit while my hand was stuck in it, I would just try to wrench it out with my hands. Again, at the at the end of the day, I'm trying to get into whatever organ it has, piloting its body, its brain.
Well, you're currently like kind of to prevent yourself from falling off. You're like holding on to like the inside of its head with your hand, basically.
Yeah.
But we can say you use your other hand to like try to like kind of pry it. You know what I mean? Like pry it and maybe just get in there. So go ahead and roll me strength again. One last time. That'll pass because it's gotten its shit ran so much. This check is literally impossible. Yeah. Oh, and the universe knows it. The check is literally needed a 100. So, yeah, you pry both of your hands into this giant incision in its back you made as you were falling, and you slowly rip this like giant kraken's like the back of this giant kraken's like head as you like reach in, start punch flurrying, you start doing your aura mad with power shit. You're like, you can feel it connecting with the bone, and this kraken like stops moving entirely as you like slowly start just pulverizing more and more. The mad with power has made you not realize that you needed to stop a long time ago. You broke through the bone, you've been attacking its brain. This thing is gone. You, after like a little bit, realize that it's over. You know, some guys you start calling out to you, and they get you back on the ship. And you know, the ship, because the attacks were focused so much on you, you actually prevented the ship from taking like crazy long-term damage, which is also a good thing about the way you went about it, despite how ridiculous it was. And yeah, you've killed this nightmare kraken. And the captain has talked about like he's gonna report it in with Terminus. They're dragging it along with the ship on the way out, and they're gonna take it back to Brunel once they drop you off. And you guys head off towards this city. And as you do, the scene changes yet again. In the desert. Last we left off, Osei and Lake were in the middle of an abandoned, somewhat destroyed town. While you guys were here, you wanted to investigate, but you saw 5, 6-ish, like a pack of large, like tiger-esque monsters. They're not exactly tigers. That's the easiest thing to equivocate them to. They're like giant, beastly, like monsters. And they noticed you guys when Osei failed a little stealth check. So what do you do to these 5, 6? I'll say it's 6 for big number is a big number. What do you do about these 6 large creatures that found your position now heading towards you?
Well, Osei kind of adjusts himself, preparing himself for battle. He looks towards Sir Lake, and he's like, Sir Lake, I don't think we can avoid this.
Yeah, I'm not thinking so either. My bad, I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah. It's fine.
Off rip, I am going to use rule through fear.
Oh, what a choice. Roll wisdom for me. It won't be a large check. These are monsters. At the end of the day, their brains are pretty weak. Oh my god. Yeah. Osei looks at you. He says he doesn't think you guys can avoid it. And you look back at him, and no words, your response is, you look at all the monsters, and you take a single step forward, stomp on the ground, as this large wave of ki dissipates throughout the entirety of the town before you guys. Osei can feel it, as you're directly next to him. And he sees all of these creatures. I'll roll endurance for them, but their endurance is really low because they're speed types. Boom. That one actually survives it.
Ooh.
Okay. That one's done for. That one's done for. That one's done for. That one's done for. We got one more. That one's done for. So the leader of the pack, the one that was bigger than the rest. The one, yeah, that's true. I mean, it was the first one, regardless. Yeah. The one that was bigger than the rest of them, the one that you now notice is like exceedingly larger than the rest of them. Actually, by like probably he's like the size of like 3 of them things for some fucking reason. He's still standing, but the rest of them all like fall to sleep in front of you guys. As you're staring this giant, this giant leader of the pack monster directly in front of you. Osei's kind of impressed. He's like, wow. Like, he's looking around at all the beasts that you just made fall in a single look. But unfortunately, you guys still have this giant creature looming ahead of you. Is probably bigger than you guys. Now that you're getting a good look at him, now that he's closer. And you guys, I'll let you guys take another move. See what you can do about this larger animal.
Osei then looks to Sir Lake again. Sir Lake, that was quite impressive. But I feel like we can make an even more impressive move. And so he suggests maybe if we can combine our rule through fears and maybe do like an attack towards him.
You guys can intimidate. Would you like to do that, Lake?
I don't have quite enough AP to do another rule through fear, but can I give like a partial buff or something here?
You have
Because
40
it takes
left.
60 AP for
It takes
me.
60 AP. Yeah. It takes 60 AP, but for thematics, Josh, would you be willing to use like 80? Yours is what's yours at? Yours is also 60, right?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to use 80 AP to account for his missing 20 since this is cinematic?
Yeah.
All right. Then yeah, you guys can both attempt to do roll through fear. You as you do, you know, this aura of like green and orange like kind of collides with each other and then coalesces into one larger mass of energy as it shoots directly towards the beast in front of you guys, feeling the extent of both of your both of your willpower being used as a weapon itself. I need you both to roll wisdom plus 10 for wisdom plus 20 for me. Fuck it, we'll make it a large number. Wisdom plus 20 for me, both of you. Fuck. Oh my. Oh, you. Oh, wow.
Wisdom plus 20.
No, it was plus 20. Yours is. Yeah.
Okay.
It was plus 20. I just got confused because yours was two numbers, but then I realized you did the plus 22 plus 20, and then his was to add it together. I'm not. That thing can't even roll for you. Yeah, that motherfucker explodes. Like, he's overloaded with ki. This is a monster. This monster is overloaded with ki directly in front of you and lets out a large howl as it quite literally its brain like starts melting. It cannot comprehend like living in the same area as you two and falls to the ground dead. Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Microwaved him.
You did microwave him, yeah.
Great job.
Good stuff, Osei.
Man, I need a breather.
Yeah, wow, that was really gross. Really, really nasty.
You can say that again.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me dex, both of you two. God damn, Cam. Good lord.
Logged in.
So
Learned it from Cross.
yeah, apparently. So you notice after this situation, you notice in the rubble of a building, behind where you guys were looking at the monster. Now that you have a clear view of the entire, this entire destroyed, rummage through town, you see a small gold chain, trapped beneath like a little piece of a building that's crumbled in. And you walk over there and you pick it up, and it doesn't look anything super noteworthy, but Osei, roll dex for me. That is not good enough, unfortunately. So Osei can detect that there is something magical about this chain, but he cannot tell what. So you know that chain has got like a little something to it, but you don't know anything about it.
Can I just take like a picture of the chain?
You can take a picture of the chain.
Okay.
That is totally fine. You don't need to roll anything for it. It's not in combat. You're good. You can just take a picture. And yeah, would either of you two like to continue searching this dilapidated, ruined town? If not, then you can head out.
Radio say?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think Osei would continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys continue forward out of this town that you were originally trying to sneak out of, into a giant sprawling desert. There's nothing but sand for fucking eons. Sand, a few like, smaller mountains in the distance, some rocks. This is a desert.
MacBook background.
Yeah, actually. And you guys just keep on following this path for a while. You don't know how long it takes. And we'll give you guys the Lemisk treatment. So we'll say that you guys have been out here for we'll say a day or two now. And as you're traveling forward in this desert, you guys are fucking a little bit tired, and in this giant sea of sand, you see a rock face, and in that rock face you see a cave. This cave is on a little rock face that you can't really see past it, but you know that past, if you keep going that direction, it'll lead towards the destination you're going to because you have the coordinates for it. So will you choose to go into this cave, or will you choose to keep going?
I am very curious, but I don't know. I'm assuming you're also tired as well, but I am getting a little parched, and maybe we should conserve our energy.
I could definitely use some rest.
Alright. Well, if you guys check out the cave, you go in there and you see that it is a small, makeshift kind of camp that's already here. There is supplies. There's a resting area. It looks as if only one person was here though. There's some supplies here. There's some food, some water. It's decently well stocked.
Must have been here recently.
Seems so. But would it be impolite to maybe take an item or thing or two?
Maybe we give it a little bit, make sure no one's gonna show up first.
Right, right. How clueless of me. Let's do that first.
You guys, how long do you guys want to rest here for? I guess if that's what you're choosing to do, if you're choosing to willingly wait to see if somebody shows up, how long do y'all want to stop here?
Just take
for?
a couple hours nap, like a quick midday nap.
Yeah, all right. Quick midday nap. We'll say it's
hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Okay. We'll say it's way late in the day by the time you guys head out again. But it's not nighttime yet, I guess.
7.
Okay, it's 7. Okay. So yeah, nobody pulled back up to this cave. And you didn't notice anybody pull back up to this cave, at least. And you guys were kind of taking shifts while one slept, watching while one slept, the other was watching. And it's later in the day. Yeah, it's later in the day, so yeah, nobody pulled up. Nobody pulled up. And you know, after you guys have had your rest, I'll allow both of you to like if you guys have any resources that you need to you know bring back. Let's say you rested, go for it. Just hit the rest button. And you know, it was nice. There was no disturbances. Y'all didn't even get attacked by like there was no like wild animals that came in. It was very peaceful, especially considering like how this desert's been the last few days, you know, harsh desert, few destroyed towns you guys have walked through, a few monsters you guys have fight aside from the first encounter. It was pretty nice. You know, do you guys wish to head out now, or like what do you want to do here?
Yeah, let's steal this guy's shit. Yeah, let's steal this guy's shit.
Right.
You want to
If
steal
you
the
say
guy's
so.
shit? How much of the guy's shit you want to steal, man? Let me know.
Let me get the water. Let
Yeah.
me get the food.
Uh-huh.
Eat
Hmm.
anything.
He wants all of it.
Well, although it's very tempting, I'd rather just keep the water and the food.
Okay.
But you can do anything you want, Sir Lake.
Nah, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Okay.
My
You
family's got money. That'd be fucked up.
would be fucked up. That'd be really fucked up. You guys do have, you know, you got a decent amount of water, a decent amount of food. You didn't take all of it. You decided to leave enough for like if it is one person, they'll probably be fine. You decide to, you know, leave everything as it was. We'll say that you guys gain like 3 bottles of water and each. And like we'll say that like you guys have 3 like quote unquote food supplies. What food supplies is basically if you decide to cook anything on the spot, you can just make something as long as you get the good rolls for it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we'll say you got 3 of those each and 3 water each.
Alright, I'm gonna drink one of the water immediately.
You drink one of the
Just
water.
chug that thing.
You get what water actually does is it heals stamina and mental, so I'll tell you that now so that you don't get
Gotcha.
like destroyed for I mean you can still choose to drink it, but I'm just letting you know
Yeah,
that
no,
it would be
I am still
wasted
gonna drink
you
it,
just
because I'm
rested.
thirsty as
Okay.
hell.
You thirsty as fuck, yeah. I got that. Ain't that the truth? You know, you drink the water and it's surprisingly still somewhat cold. So like this was like taken from somewhere recently or something of that sort. And it's been in the cave the entire time. It's not like it gets super hot in the cave. That's why he's in the cave. So yeah, you guys head out past this you know, rock face that you guys were laying in for a while, and you continue forward deeper into the desert. You after many hours, probably about it's like deep into the night now. At this point, because you guys had your rest earlier. It's deep into the night, and you guys are stopped by actually, you know what? Both of you roll dex. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. So both of you notice this, so it's not a big deal. It's deep into the night, and both of you stop in your tracks because you see in the ground ahead of you, you know, beyond the pitch blackness of the night, you see this giant chasm, like multi-mile wide, multi-mile long chasm. And you guys, Osei specifically rolled really good decks. So he can tell from looking at the chasm that it doesn't look as if it's just a normal giant, like, it's not like a normal ravine. It's not like something happened with like an earthquake or even like, you know, somebody destroyed this or whatever. It looks as if it is like a monster itself ripped the ground and came out from it. It looks very unnatural. And I want you guys to roll int, both of you, on this giant chasm. That would have given you information that you will not get because you guys rolled up. So don't worry about it. But yes, so you see this giant chasm that looks as if a monster itself has ripped itself out of the ground. You cannot see the bottom of it. You can tell that even if it was daytime, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom of it. And it's this giant obstacle that's in your way. There's a few, like, obviously, now you guys have been, you guys have had the one thing that's prevented you guys from actually, like, taking damage from being in the desert or whatever is you've had the vehicle, right? You've had this motorcycle that you've been on. And that prevents you from taking, like, overtime stamina damage from traveling the desert. Which is why it's necessary. And so, you know, you can tell that if there is a way past this, like, you guys need to find a way past this, basically. It's a giant fucking obstacle. And you got to be careful because you don't want to lose your bike.
Yeah. Shit, man.
This is not good.
This is not good at all. Where did they say the portal was?
Good question. I don't know how far we are away, but sure. I was gonna ask about something that maybe Osei could do with spirits, but then I don't know.
Go
I don't
ahead,
think I have
ask.
that skill. Well, I was thinking like I know since he can pretty much with his spirit armor he can cloak himself in spirits. I wonder if he can use the spirits for anything specific, like building a bridge or some shit.
You could, like, specify stuff for the spirits if your spirit armor was higher, but you still only have it. It's mastered basic, but it's still only basic.
So I have a question. And it's gonna spoil my idea here, but I need to ask it.
Okay.
When I took a picture of the erupting thing with stillness principle,
Yeah.
no one was able to, like, enter that area, right?
Nobody was able to enter that area, but even if they were, Jericho covered the entire top of the volcano in an earth dome.
Okay.
In case it ever became active again.
So if I took a picture of this, like, chasm, would I be able to, like, effectively, like, freeze it over? Not freeze it over, but you know what I'm saying, where it's like a solid thing that we can walk over?
Roll me int. You can acknowledge that if you could find a way to take a picture of you guys, if you could find a way to have the picture of the chasm have both of you guys in it, then because you guys are in the picture, you would be able to interact with things in that picture, and you guys specifically would be able to walk over it.
Well, if we're in the picture, aren't we frozen as well, though?
No, because you're in the picture.
Okay, gotcha.
But if it was just Osei, then yes, he would be frozen in time.
Okay. But I can, like, pull Osei into it.
Correct. If you are in the picture with another living being, then the freezing principle doesn't apply because you're in the picture. That applies to enemies as well, though.
Okay. All right, cool. Shit, I think I have something in here.
You do?
Hold on. Let me just... I kind of... set up the motorbike.
It's
like, I think I have a...
I was like, it's a big fucking chasm.
Yeah.
So.
Like, we're gonna be able to. Osei,
Yes.
what exactly are you able to do with your magic?
Well, quite a few things, but I'm not too strong with spirits yet, but maybe we could figure something out with using Key. Uh, but as far as summoning weapons or anything particular along those lines, I could definitely do that
Hmm.
with my spirits, of course, but um, unfortunately, I am not as strong and skilled as you, Sir Lake.
No, 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 no. You're not fooling me, Osei. I know how hard this is. I know how hard the key is. Honestly, I didn't like when you understood it so fast. I know you're a good guy. It's just, that took me a while, man. Didn't feel great. I'm glad my dad wasn't there for sure.
Right. Well, so what are you suggesting? Any ideas
I
that you have
think
in mind?
I think I I think I could maybe get a picture of this chasm and freeze it so that we could walk over it, but that put us on a timer. We got to hustle across, and
Hmm.
you, me, and the bike would need to be in it. But
Hmm.
I don't know if I can get all of that in an angle with just myself. I was wondering if when you summon weapons, are you able to control them with your mind, or are they just physical manifestations that you can hold?
Um.
That is a great question.
Yeah. Would
His
Osei? Yeah.
conjuration, that's conjuration expert. He's only at adept right now.
Uh.
Got a skill
w-
point.
What about like?
You said, do you have a skill? No, he doesn't.
What
I
about
literally
just
checked.
summoning that spirit to hold the camera? Is that possible, or that's not like
You
within his
did
Ooh, wait,
ability?
could I have a
train.
spirit take a picture of me?
You did train with Terminus. I gotta think about this. You trained with Terminus. You have spirit tethers. Could you summon a spirit? Because I like Cameron's idea. I like that he thought about it. Roll me wisdom, Osei.
What is. Okay.
Fuck, that's a good roll. Um, so we can say that you could not summon a spirit, but you can connect your soul to other spirits to do things, right? Like you did with Crosswise, for example, how you're able to check the location of the guy that he needs by like connecting to his spirit. We could say that if Lake allowed it, you could connect your spirit to his with a tether, and you could potentially use that spirit tether to like activate the camera, basically.
Hmm.
Simply because
Okay.
I like his idea a lot. So I'll allow it.
Okay. Well, Sir Lake, I do have an idea. If we can try this out, maybe we can all be on the bike, and I can use my spirit tethering abilities to activate the camera from afar and able to snap that photo for you.
Now I ask you another question, Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to leave the camera behind to take that picture?
Oh,
Ooh.
shit, we just got the upgrade. Okay, hold on. Let me see where I'm at with this camera.
Not saying you couldn't get it back, but I'm saying that like you'd be leaving
I
it
would
on.
have to travel into the portal without it.
Correct.
Dude, that was like half the excitement. Oh man, I wanted a picture of the portal. Okay. Yeah, I will
I
leave
mean,
it
you could
behind.
always get that picture in the future, to be fair, since
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
the
yeah,
location of it.
yeah. Just gotta wait for them to fill in the miles long hole. Should only take a few weeks.
Well, don't worry. Your stillness principle, it will be getting upgraded later on.
Okay.
So will everybody else's like character specific thing.
Gotcha. I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna. I can. I'm fine with leaving my camera behind.
Okay. Okay. Um. So you leave your camera on the ground to get a good picture. At an angle where, as you guys are driving into the chasm, Osei sets it off from afar with a spirit tether. Because your camera is technically it's a spirit box. That's the only reason this works. It's because Lake specifically his camera, he specified to me making his character can trap spirits to do the ghost print flick thing, to do the taking pictures of stuff and taking its attributes. Because it is a spirit camera, this works. So I don't know how that hyper specific distinction ended up mattering, but it actually did. And as you guys are driving into this chasm, as you're seemingly about to fall off, Osei, because his wisdom roll was good, uses, he has a spirit tether. He's linked to your soul, and he takes a picture with your spirit camera as you guys are crossing. And as it seems like you guys are about to fall off, you begin riding over the air itself of the chasm with this very like wide angle that you have with the far lens that you use for the whatever the move is that we have you roll for, the like 5 through 50.
Yeah, the focus lens.
The focus lens, yeah, the lens that we use for that is the like wide lens that you have in your lens case. So using the wide lens and snapping a picture, you guys ride across air. As you are doing that, it feels different. You can feel that time itself is frozen. The coldness you guys felt from the air, because it's nighttime in a desert, does not exist. The the sound produced from the motorbike, the sound of you guys' voices is the only sound that you can hear. There is no wind, there is no like rustling of like any bushes or anything. It's all silent aside from you guys. And you guys go across this chasm, and you guys drive to the other side, and as you guys are driving, all of a sudden sound comes back as you leave what you presume to be the frame of the photo. And as you do, everything goes from insanely quiet to being able to hear like the air itself, being able to hear the whatever like rustling in the wind there is from what little like plant life lives here. You guys can feel the shift between the frozen time and when you're actually back in what would be perceived reality. And you are on the other side of this chasm. Good fucking plan, guys. That was good. That was one of like 4 intended solutions I had. It was the one that I thought you guys wouldn't think about. So that's good. I like that. So yeah, you guys drive off into the desert. leaving behind this camera, for the sake of the mission, of course. As we go back to where's the mountain? There's the mountain. As we go back to Lemisk. Lemisk.
Yes.
You have entered this cave. You followed the blood trail in, fearing that somebody might be in danger. And upon walking back in, you realize that yes, you were right. There is a monk of Augustine's lying on the ground. Seems more like a monk, and they would say here as like a bodyguard type deal, not necessarily as like he's not like just one of the followers of their religion. Like he looks as if he was sitting here as like a guard of some sort. And you see him on the ground. He is bloodied. He is somewhat in shock. He looks fucked up.
What's his max mental?
What's his max mental? His max mental would be pretty low.
Well, I run. Sir, are you okay? He looks at me.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
He's like, then I give him a nice prayer of healing. Dear Lord, whoever you are, please, my goddess, give this man the divine healing waters that you command. And I begin to heal his wounds.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He heals 50 because corrupted prayer of fortune heals 50. Yeah, he heals 50.
And then I use key charge. And okay, but without him noticing, without the monk noticing, and I ask him, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I ask him, what does God mean to you? As I try to convert this nigga.
That's valid. I mean, you healed him first, so like I'll allow it. He's healed enough to not instant die. From the use corrupted prayer of fortune, heals 50. It's just what it does. You use key charge, to, I'm assuming, empower your attempt to convert him.
I'm about to, to pretty much empower the world of forms. I'm about to put on the Gidji.
Okay, correct. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I like that. You have so you have, let's see, you have +5, so roll me strength whiz plus 20, and I'm gonna take away one of your corruption stacks for the selfless act.
You said strength
wisdom plus 10. Strength wisdom plus 10.
Okay.
It's a reasonably easy check. Yeah, you're good. That's reasonably easy. I mean, it's the cutoff was like if you'd rolled like below like a 90, then you wouldn't have, but it's easy. So yeah, he is healed from his wounds. This miracle that, you know, he almost akin to what he'd been searching for going on this journey with the rest of the group, because despite being here as a guard, he very obviously is still a monk of the church. He's a man of the church, and he and upon I got sent something that's funny. Upon like you know, you casting this world of forms upon him in his moments that he deemed to be his last, The miraculous healing that you have given him has made him look towards you, as if you yourself was an idol of worship. He looks towards you and asks you for guidance on what he should do, especially with this pilgrimage not being all it seemed to be.
Well, I would say join me. Complete the pilgrimage with me and my followers. Follow me, and maybe you'll change your perspective. Maybe with a new crowd, Neff. And I put my hand on the shoulder. Neff, let me tell you something. It's all about perspective. What are you truly going on this pilgrimage for? See, you told me you were a bodyguard. Well, guess what? That's what you were here for. That's why you don't feel like you gained anything, because you came not as someone who's looking for the one true goddess, right? You came here and on a job. See, the goddess, she isn't going to just open up to you if you're not trying to look for her. You know what I'm saying? You weren't looking for her. So come with me. We'll look for her together. Okay?
Yeah, he will follow you. However, let me roll an int check for him to see how his mind state is doing. His mind state is terrible. So he accepts and he just listens. He's like, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe you're right. And he chooses to go with you back up this mountain, despite it ending rather poorly the first time. You you go up towards this mountain, and you go back out of the cave, and you go through this path behind the waterfall that leads back up to the mountain. And he and you are like moving forward up this mountain, and we'll say it's been another day of journey with the rest of your group. You saved this guy. It's been a day, so I guess I'll have him roll int again. It makes sense too. Okay, this check was very easy, so I'll still allow him to tell you. I'm not gonna hoe you out of that information because you saved him. He stops you before you guys make it to a path that very obviously leads towards steps leading up the mountain now. And he warns you of what happened when he completed, quote unquote, the pilgrimage. When him and the rest of the people that had survived made it up there, it was not a holy site. They made it up there, and he had realized that Bishop Stewart had been brainwashed, and a majority of the group itself had been
recorded,
brainwashed.
right? The cameras are rolling, right?
Yes, correct. The cameras are rolling. Yes.
Holy shit, thank God. All right, cool.
Yes, you
All
are
right.
are correct. The cameras are rolling. What? Yeah. So
Shit.
there's so the bishop had been brainwashed, same as the bishop before him. A lot of the religious sect has been getting brainwashed for who knows how long at this point. Holding blind faith in this quote-unquote holy site and going on these dangerous pilgrimages. Anybody who would go back would often return in a weird semi-mindless state, to the point where they did not have memories of the event, and anybody else just didn't come back. This guy was able to get out before they could Men in Black mind erase him, and they thought he was gonna die, so they just let him rock. And he should have died, but you saved him. The Miracle Man. And so Bishop Stewart had been used as a puppet by a man calling himself a dreamer. And they are the reason that there's so many soulless bodies around. You begin to gather from his story is because of in his story he details how a lot of the religious people's souls are being siphoned by whatever is in this mountain. And so you gather from all the soulless that you had seen, like the 3 or 4 bodies of them that you had seen, that the first soulless you guys fought, you realized was like them experimenting with like the whole idea of the Philosopher's Stone and stuff. But you gather like your base intuition is like, because you have high intellect, you have high intelligence, so you just gather kind of like, oh, there's like, they might be making it a little further in the progress of that. And so you realize that the mountain, it's the mountain itself may in fact be some form of like, the mountain itself or something in the mountain may be like a form of like, some form of concentrated Philosopher's Stone-esque thing or something adjacent to it. And this is recorded. This is all on recording. So yes, the cameras are rolling. I will tell you that. That was a great thing to check. But yes, it is.
Okay. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Can we leave?
Can we leave? You're gonna let this continue? I mean, yeah, you can leave. You could just straight up leave if you wanted to.
All right. So I turned to the camera. All right, now I gotta free verse this. Turn to the camera. Gather my congregation. Lord, I came to this mountain searching for answers, chasing silence, chasing signs, chasing you. I thought I had to climb higher, dig deeper, and stay longer. But then, the goddess, you sent someone. Not with thunder, not with fire, but with truth. He didn't shout. He didn't shine. But what he said made my spirit still. He told me that what I didn't want to hear. That the mountain wasn't the point. That obedience is higher than elevation. That purpose don't always wait at the peak. Sometimes it calls you to back down. And so, Lord, we turn with tears in my eyes, dust on our feet. We will turn away from what we thought we needed and walk toward the bottom so we could be with you. Thank you. I pull my new disciple to the side. Thank you. I hit him in the stomach. Thank you for the man who spoke with wisdom, not his own. Thank you for a word that didn't flatter, but freed. Thank you for meeting me not with thunder, but with clarity. And now I walk, not to be seen, not to be celebrated, but to be faithful to guide our steps back down this mountain and into safety. Amen. Let's go, guys.
The only reason he didn't tell you earlier is because he rolled a 1. So I was checking to see he didn't roll 1 two times in a row because that would have been hoed. But like, what are you gonna do? But after that situation, actually, you know what? Roll me a raw D100. Miss. Okay, that was a miracle check. Yeah, you can.
You book it.
Y'all can book it, but as you book it, now I've got to free verse this a little bit because I didn't know if you were actually gonna run or not. So as you're getting away, you meet. You are face to face with. You make it back to the foot of this mountain. It's like a. You're like a few. Like we'll say it's been like an hour or two, and you guys have made it like back down a little bit. You're not on the steps anymore.
Yeah.
And you are face to face with the wolves again. The 5 silver wolves. Again, you can tell they have no threatening intent, no aggression towards you or your group, but they sit still in front of you guys, not blocking your path, but just watching you. And as they do, they look up to the mountain, and roll dex for me.
Hey, can I conscript these wolves? Can I be like, hey, wolves, come on, y'all need to get the fuck up out of here too.
So you can tell the wolves like, hey, you guys should leave. That's fine.
Yo, come on. Yo, come on.
So
Yo, come on.
you
I conjured that big wolf again. Yo, come on.
Yeah. No, they'll listen to you. They like they look up at you, and then they look at the rest of your followers, and they get behind you guys as you begin walking down, as if they were attempting to like prevent you guys from harm that could come from the mountain. You didn't see anything with the dex check, by the way, just to clarify.
Okay.
And so you begin your journey back down the mountain. And you, as you're heading down, you travel probably about a day back journey. You're back at the cave. What is going on? What are you playing over there?
This is the thing.
Oh my god!
This is the thing of us running off the mountain.
Yeah, you run off the mountain.
Come on, wolves!
It's been a day. As the day has kept going, it's so stupid. As this day has passed, you guys are back towards where the cave was. Which is funny because you covered like 2 days worth of distance in 1 day at a time. Imagine that.
Okay.
You motherfuckers are booking it. And you realize like you at this point you have to you kind of have to rest to regain yourself. You're probably not going to rest here for a long time, obviously, knowing that there's impending doom. But the wolves are still with you. They're totally fine. Your followers are fine. And looking back towards the mountain, you do see a at night in the northern wind, obviously there's a consistent, constant like aurora that covers the sky. From the top of this mountain, you see a beacon of light that's shooting up and intertwining with that aurora. And over time, you see it like sometimes it grows dimmer, sometimes it grows brighter, and you don't know what's going on up there. But you do know that that's something that like will have to be dealt with. But it's like it's just a constant like reminder that there's something fucked up going on. And you guys rest here for a little bit. Go ahead and roll a raw d100 for me.
I think to myself, bro, we got to come back. I got to come back with the gang. I got to come out with the squad. This ain't a just me thing.
Roll d100. Okay, you're fine. No encounters. Yeah, you guys rest there for like an hour or two to just regain yourselves before continuing to head back the direction you came from. Not fully towards back towards the clearing you were at yet. You're still probably about 2 days out from that, but as you guys make it back to that clearing, or are beginning to you get back on the path that the little clearing was that you had seen the bodies at earlier. You notice that not only have the bodies of the Solaces disappeared as time has gone on, but you notice that it's almost as if energy from the area around you itself is slowly, very slowly being drawn towards that light at the top of the mountain. Roll me endurance.
In my head, in LaVisca head, I'm freaking the fuck out right now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm keeping faith, but my old ass is like, bro, I've seen some shit in my day. I know when not to fuck with shit. Yeah. And this is some shit not to fuck with.
Yeah. Roll endurance. Roll endurance. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, you're the prayers. So yeah, you are not, you're phased by what's going on mentally, of course. Like, it is affecting you and your group, but your group remains strong. It seems as if the energy that's being sucked into this like light in the sky for some reason just is not surrounding your group. It's not surrounding the wolves, it's not surrounding you and your followers. You don't know what it is, but there is something shielding you from having your energy itself being sucked into this mountain as you guys continue traveling down. And you make it back to the clearing. You've traveled like 2 days away from the mountain, and that light still flickers in the sky at night whenever whatever the fuck is going on up there happens. And you manage to make it back to the clearing. And upon making it back to the clearing, you see the wolves look at you and your followers and walk back towards that forest that's like, about a day's journey away from the clearing. They kind of split off from you, sensing that you guys are fine from this point on. And you guys continue your journey onwards. And as you do, we head back to the man who killed a nightmare kraken in the city with Momo. Crosswise managed to prevent his group from getting destroyed. And upon, making landfall, he rested for a day. As much as he could. Obviously he can't sleep, but now he's in a tavern-esque area meeting with Momo. And Momo's like basically explaining to him everything that's going on. So
nice to meet you, Momo.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, the diamonds are gonna be out fighting the lotuses probably for like 5-ish days, I reckon. They've been fighting for a while already. So do you think that I expected him to send more people, to be honest. But, I guess Terminus has a lot of faith in you if he's sending you here alone. And then, comedically, in that, after he says that, somebody walks up to him, like, kind of taps him on the shoulder. You basically figure out that this guy's an info broker, basically. And some guy, like, comes behind him and, like, as he's walking towards him, he, like, looks at you. And he, like, his eyes widen. And he's, like, kind of jaw drops for a second. And then he looks at Momo, he starts whispering in his ear. He goes, and then Momo's like, he did what? And then the guy's like, he goes, it's at the ship outside. And he looks over at Crosswise and goes, did you kill a nightmare kraken? Perhaps.
Did you want some sashimi?
Oh my god. Oh my god. He actually did it. Okay. Okay, never mind. All my doubts about you, gone. So. Yeah, we've got about 5 days. Do you think we could clear out 3 towns of monsters in 5 days?
I don't see why not.
Well, that's, yeah. You know what? I got faith in that answer now, to be honest. That's, what's your name? What's your Crosswise, right? You're on the...
Crosswise, yeah.
Okay. See, I was wondering, you and Lake look so alike sometimes. It's the hair.
Yeah, it's a nice compliment. I appreciate it.
But yeah. So,
takes after me a bit.
Yeah, we have less than a week to clear these. Oh, hold shit. I just looked at my notes. It's actually 2 towns, not 3. So that's actually easier. Yeah. So we can clear 2 towns in 5 days. One of these towns was formerly a witches guild.
Okay.
The witches guild they forced a lot of the witches out because the Golden Age Society wanted to expand their territory. They forced a decent amount of them out and kind of built over it, turned it into a larger city.
I see.
But now it's kind of like that town's kind of a hellhole a little bit. Actually, Crosswise, roll int for me. If you get a crazy roll here, you actually might know something about that witches guild.
Okay. No memento.
It would have to be a crazy roll.
Oh, okay. Boink. Wow, that was a good roll for
I'm
me.
sick to my fucking stomach, bro. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. You in particular, I'm sick of. Okay. So in all your travels with Osei, as you have spent a large amount of time around him, you realize that he has told you a little bit about his past and a little bit about the areas he's come from, especially on the journey to the Chained Lands when you were looking for the library. And you get the inclination that, yeah, he said that there was a lot of trouble at the old guild that he lived in, and that they had like a brief like fight against the a few of the squads of the Golden Diamonds at the time. Obviously that would have been at least like bare minimum 20 years ago, but you gather that witches guild could very well be the home of Osei. It's now some random shitty town in the territory or the ownership of the Golden Age Society. And you gather that, and Momo is kind of just telling you about stuff about the town, and then he's like, when do you want to head out?
Sooner's better, I suppose.
Okay, is there anything you want to do here before?
Do you guys got good food?
This town in particular has like some pretty solid food, yeah. It's got there's a few specialty meals here that are only available here because of fish in the area. I'm sure I could get you a little discount in one of these places.
Sounds
you
good.
could get some good food.
Yeah, I'll take that offer.
Okay, well, you guys, you guys are looking around for a restaurant. I'll just roll a D100 to see what kind of restaurant you guys find. Yeah, you guys find like this like diner-ish, place, and you walk in. Momo starts talking to the owner of the place, and or the person up front, and you can tell that like this is a place that like Momo has been to before. Like he might even frequent here. And he's really trying to like show you around. Now that you have proven strength feat of killing a kraken, he's like, oh well, like let me treat this guy well. And so he starts talking to the guy up front, and while that's happening, go ahead and tell me like what is it that you'd be looking for from the food here?
I'm looking for something that gives me like, a little bit of strength, really. I just want to deal a little bit of damage going forward. I'd be fine with having something that's a little bit like for int, but really not essential for me here.
Okay.
And then I also want to thank the chefs and let them know that like hopefully they can get their fish in better now that they're not getting plagued. The boats aren't getting plagued by monsters.
Yeah, you do that. You can get for, let me see how much money you got. Oh my god, you have a fuck ton of money. And you're getting discounts because you killed the kraken. Oh my god. So you for what would normally be around 100, for 50, you can eat like a special like swordfish steak that they have. It raises strength. It also gives a little bit of endurance. So it would give you 10 strength and 5 endurance. The food here is like, the food in this area is pretty solid. The food in the like, the further into the Golden Age Society you get, the worse the food gets.
Yeah, fair enough.
So like all these like outskirt areas, pretty good. You said you want something that could raise intelligence. You could get a drink for like 30 that would normally be 60. Well, it depends. Does Crosswise refuse to drink alcohol?
Use. Question. I think.
Because they have like a
Say-
specialty drink here that they make that actually does give a little bit for int.
Yeah, I'd say he doesn't have something against it, really. He doesn't use it as a vice, but he drinks because, like, I mean, he's done so with the soldiers before on occasion, so
Yeah.
he has no negative feelings
Um,
about it, but he doesn't cling to it when he's
Yeah.
depressed.
I'm not gonna have you roll endurance because it's not like a super hard drink. And also it wouldn't matter for Crosswise probably.
Probably not.
But yeah, you get this specialty drink. It's like specially brewed here in this city. You don't know what they put in it, but that shit kind of hits. It's a pretty good drink. It raises int by 5. And you know, it's pretty solid all around. Momo grabs one with you, and you know, you guys, you know, he just covers you with more information about the mission, talks about like, you know, the towns, what the towns are like that you guys are gonna be like saving, and how he's gonna help arrange to like turn this into territory for you guys and stuff. Bunch of business stuff for Crosswise. That don't mean shit to him, you know. He doesn't tune it out, but he's just listening. You know, he's not really.
I just appreciate his passion.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the business stuff, Crosswise not only doesn't really care about it, but he also just doesn't know that much about it, so it kind of bounces off of him a little bit. But Momo doesn't realize that, and he you know, he thinks you're chill. And you guys head out to a town on the outskirts of the Golden Age Society. We'll cut forward a little bit. Say you travel out a day. You take a little like carriage there. Technology also gets worse the like further out you are from the Golden Age Society. The further in, the better technology gets. So you guys are in carriages. And you guys head to this first town, and you see like a town that's like, it's they call it a town, but you can tell that their definition of town is different from other places' definition of town, because this place is like a huge city.
Gotcha.
A decent amount of it is destroyed, but you see that they have like people in the city ongoingly fighting with a monster that you were able to see like hours before you got here. It's not as big as the Kraken or anything by any means. It's not even as big as like probably what ripped the chasm in the desert open, but it's basically like a giant cyclops. And you get there, and you see this giant humanoid creature. It's got some horns. You can tell it's weird. It's kind of chimera-esque. It's like this large humanoid chimera-esque creature. It's got horns. It's got a weird tail. Only has one eye. It's got claws. And you can tell that like it's been regularly attacking this city recently. It seems like it's more of like a out of necessity thing. Like it comes here to like feed. It doesn't necessarily come here with like it wasn't like made by somebody to destroy the city. And so you get here and you see that the town is currently dealing with the attack of this monster. And obviously you're far away enough to where it doesn't notice you, nor do the people in the village that are fighting against it notice you. What do you do? You're probably like you're close enough to like if you ran, you could do something like to him, but it's not like you're immediately noticed because they're all preoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
Momo obviously he's like in the carriage, but he's not going out there with you. He can fight, but he's an info guy. He's not like a combatant.
Yeah. So they're kind of fighting over this monster in a way.
Yeah, they're like there's like people shooting weapons from the ground, like shooting like crossbows and like a few like smaller like guns.
Mm-hmm.
And some like obviously some of what they're doing is effective just because of the sheer numbers of people, but it's not stopping it from just like grabbing people trying to eat and like destroying buildings and stuff. You're essentially witnessing people trying to fight a kaiju right now.
I see. Well, yeah, I guess
Not as big as a
I'll
kaiju, but
yeah, I'll navigate towards the battlegrounds for this monster. But my initial intention is probably a little bit towards also making sure it's not hitting and killing a lot of casualties. If I feel like there's a moment to jump in, I will do everything I can to deal a fatal blow to the creature. But as I approach, my intention is somewhat to make sure the area seems evacuated to some degree.
Yeah, a decent. There's not the only people here are people that are fighting. It seems as if they've evacuated the area like decently enough. Like these seem like military types that are here.
Yeah.
This isn't the Witches Guild, by the way. This is not that city. This is the other one. And you know, it seems a decent amount of people have been evacuated. It seems like it's probably killed a few people, but it's mainly just going through buildings looking for people to get, and it's not trying to like it is fighting off the people attacking it, but it's not actively trying to like engage with them because it deems them a threat. You know what I mean? Like it's like natural animal behavior, basically.
Makes sense. I will attempt to lacerate its arms with my cross chop, if possible, whatever limbs it uses to primarily attack.
We can say you can. What's your jump? 21 meters. We can say that you can jump to the top of a building and then jump to attack it. So roll me one agi check. I'll only have it be one. We'll say you do the building jump perfectly fine. It's just the jumping to actually hit him. I'm sick of you, man. You jump on top of a building nearby as you see this thing kind of like destroying a building, trying to like make way for where it thinks that, you know, people that aren't directly attacking it might be at. And as it does, you leap from the top of this building towards the giant monster and attempt to launch a like large cross chop towards its arm as you fall to the ground from your leaping position. Go ahead and roll me strength.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, this thing's not as durable as the Kraken was. Like the Kraken was meant to be very hard to kill. This motherfucker is killable. But it endures the hit decently enough. You do hurt it, for sure. You leave like a large cut along the side of its arm, and it like moves its arm back, like kind of jumping, like when you like accidentally touch something hot, you know. And it like, you know, reels its arm back. Unlike the Kraken, you notice due to training with Mary and due to fighting a giant Kraken, like this guy's movements are giga slow to you. So to you, like, yeah, go ahead and go ahead and just tell me what you want to do while he's reeling back. Like he's so slow.
I'd like to jump over to it and headbutt its head with my head.
Yeah, we'll say you landed back on top of one of the buildings. You jump in the air, and as it's like, reeling its arm back and like kind of looking at its arm to see what happened, you jump in front of it and collide heads with it. With this giant one-eyed creature trying to like directly headbutt its forehead that like it feels like pointless to the people watching from below. They kind of like stopped fighting at this point because they just don't believe you. Go ahead and roll strength. That is tough. Roll endurance.
Um,
And I'm gonna have this thing roll strength. You endure the hit decently enough. Like that's not enough of a disparity for me to punish you too hard for that. And then let me roll this guy's endurance as well. Oh, we're about to have another one of these. God damn it. So you headbutt it, and you realize like this motherfucker's got a thick ass skull. And you hit it and kind of like bounce off a little bit. It doesn't really hurt you, but you like bounce back a little bit in the air, land back on the building you were on, and realize that like that headbutt didn't really do too much to it, and it kind of looks back down at you, wondering what just happened. And now it's like full attention is focused on you, and you have done enough pain for it to like deem you an essential threat. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna try to kill you so that I can like guarantee my safety. And
Gotcha.
with that, as you're landing back on the building and is looking at you, it launches. Go ahead and roll Dex plus 20 because this motherfucker's so slow. Yeah. It launches. It's trying to launch like a punch towards you with its big ass arm, but you see how slow that thing is, and just like what do you want to do as it's like throwing its arm towards you?
I'm gonna like sidestep it and then just grab its arm and pull as much as I can towards the building.
Roll me strength. Roll me strength. This would be crazy. This would be nuts. This would be nuts. So okay, you grab it and it gets caught off guard, and you pull it a little bit, and it kind of like crashes into the building you're standing on and starts crumbling a little bit, but then it like regains itself, and as you're grabbed onto its arm, it like lifts you into the air with its arm. Roll strength again. Make sure you can hold on. Yeah, you're fine. It like tries to throw you off its arm, like yanking its arm in the air, and you like stay held onto it, onto like the back of its like wrist basically. And it like looks at you as it's moving its arm back. You can do something because again, this motherfucker's just so slow for you. He's mid movement.
Yeah, I was just I'm like above it, you said? Like
Yeah,
its arm
is like above its head.
Yeah. I'll use Mad with power, and I'll try to kick off what I can and just like full force just punch directly into its head. I don't really care about its skull.
Okay. Yeah, roll me agi and then roll me strength. 2 separate rolls. Roll the agi with like a plus 20 though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
No problem.
Roll strengthington. Okay, there's a good strength roll. Yeah, so you I'll roll endurance for this thing, but it's probably gonna get hurt mad hard no matter what. Oh god. Yeah, you activate Mad with power as you launch yourself off this off its arm directly into its head. Arm outstretched, fucking Superman punching it in the head. As you like drive your fist towards its skull. You hit it directly in the head. And as you do, it begins to fall to the ground. The like force of your hit was enough for it to like get knocked off of its feet. Everybody else is watching in amazement below. They've gotten to like safer areas because you've been like soloing this monster that they've been struggling to fight. And as it's falling, you like begin to regain yourself. roll agi to see if you're able to like keep your footing while bro is falling.
Thing.
Okay.
So much.
No, you fall off. You fall off of his head, leaving a giant like crater impact in his like forehead. As it falls to the ground, like screaming, and you fall off. Roll endurance. You're falling from a pretty decent height, so this could actually hurt you. You're fine. Don't even worry about it. Just because you're so damn tanky. You fall. You land on your feet. This is like a pretty decent fall, but it doesn't hurt that bad. As it comes crashing down through like 3 buildings and falls on the ground. You are able to view like its hand. Its like hand fell down next to you. So yeah, that's like how far away from any important organs you are.
Gotcha. I will grab its arm.
Uh-huh.
And I'll just try to giant swing it to some degree.
No way.
Kick it against something.
Roll strength. Roll strength.
You gotta try. You gotta flex.
I was about to say, dude.
It doesn't always work.
I was about to say, dude. If you rolled a fucking like 99 and started giant swinging fucking Cyclops, I'd walk out of the goddamn room. Yeah, you attempt to lift this creature. But unfortunately, you do not have like the same energy you did earlier. It seems your mad with power wore off like after the hit and falling. Your brain valued your safety. And so you ended up your mad with power ran out and you're not able to lift it. You like try to pick it up, you're like, damn. That's a little harder than it was last time. But upon doing that, like the creature begins to like slowly try to move its arm. What do you do? I'll give you a chance to do something as it moves its arm, because honestly, it's too slow for you.
I'll just clench really hard, like grab on, so to try to hold it down, or to prevent it from pulling its hand back.
Okay. Yeah. Roll strength again. Bro has one game plan. I'll make this a contest of strength. 45. That's what it was. This is a contest of strength, and it wins. So you're able to hold on to its arm, but it brings you up with it as it attempts to get up. This is the same arm that you cut up earlier. You notice as you hold on to it.
Sounds good.
It attempts to throw you off. Doesn't work. You're able to maintain your grip. What do you do?
I'll lacerate the hand as much as I can with my cross chop. I'll go mad power, cross chop it, slash away at its wrists.
Its arm is already weakened and you're using mad with power, so roll strength plus 15. Yeah. You you launch a cross chop at its hand as it attempts to pull you in the air with it, and its hand falls to the ground as it like screams in pain and brings its other arm over to like hold on to its wrist. It feels like immense pain from what you just caused, and now is like attempting to like roll over so it can try to get up and get away. What do you do to this beast that's now like writhing in pain?
I take advantage of its pain to activate my my taunt.
That is
sort of.
You can do that.
Great killing intent in it to know that it's far beneath me. This creature has to know.
You use killing intent, and it doesn't have a like wisdom or an intelligence for me to connect it to, but it's a dumb creature. We'll give it like a 5, right? Yeah, Go ahead and roll me a fucking like strength check, but it's not. I mean, you're probably fine. Yeah, like you do an intimidation check on this guy, and it looks over at you as it's like writhing in pain and grabbing on it to its arm, and it like rolls and begins to like get itself up, and then looks back at you. And it how would it respond? Would this creature would probably run. So it attempts to run away. It is attempting to get away. Running in the opposite direction.
No problem. I'll do what I can to, you know, grab onto anything that I could get to. Hold it back.
You can, for the sake of I want to see it happen, you can try to grab one of its legs to attempt a giant swing again.
Okay.
We'll give you advantage though, because it's intimidated and injured as fuck. So I'll give you like a 20 plus 20. I don't think
I'll pump a bit of key if you think I need it.
I'll roll. I want to see you comedically giant swing him. That's the problem. I want to see it. So I'm gonna roll a strength check. That was endurance. I'm gonna roll his strength. You said you'd pump key into it. If you pump key into it, then realistically you do beat its strength check. So I can extrapolate and let that happen. This will be the first time this session where like I truly kind of fudge something for somebody, but I think it's funny. So you as it attempts to get up and run away, you grab it by the leg and begin to like King from Tekken start up a giant swing as you attempt to toss it into a building next to you. I'll roll endurance for this thing. Oh, it crashes into that building hard. And it, you know, it's writhing in pain. It's like fucking screaming. Its arm is messed up. And now it can't move because it's been crippled by like the giant toss into the side of the wall. Dealt half its fucking health bar. And it's like sitting in the ruins of this building. What do you do, Crosswise, to this beast?
I try to lacerate whatever muscles it will use to run away from me.
Oh, he wants it to
so that
suffer.
it can never do so.
Holy
it needs to stay here.
Roll strength plus 20 again, because it's doomed. This thing's doomed. I'm gonna be that passes easily. I'm gonna be so real. It couldn't have ran again, even if it tried. You're just cutting its tendons for no reason. So
but they need to know though. They need to feel safe. The townspeople.
Yeah, don't know if this will help with that, but they watch as you slowly like rip at the back of the legs of this monster on the ground and like work your way up to like cutting even like pieces of its back so it can't move. And its screams slowly die out as you basically keep on like chunking considerable amounts of its like muscles. And slowly as you work your way up cutting this guy's tendons and muscles throughout the body, eventually it dies as everybody watches you kind of like mercilessly make this thing suffer in front of them. They are happy you did that. Do they feel safe? They feel safer. I don't know if they like what they just saw, but you know. Luckily it wasn't everybody in the town. It was just like the people here that were already fighting, so they can recognize like, oh yeah, we were, you know, that thing, we were gonna kill it, but like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, upon that happening, you know, the guy that was leading, like whether this is an actual military or a militia, whatever it is, he walks over to you and like, you know, he thanks you for saving everybody, and then he's like, so why did you have to, you could have just killed it. You could have just...
Well, not 100% sure what kind of life these things have. Some nightmare creatures, they come back from what seems like dire situations, so wanted to make sure it couldn't lash out and injure any more people.
That's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good reasoning. All right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Everybody thinks you're a hero somehow, despite your argument was convincing enough for everybody to just be cool with that. So yeah, everybody is, Momo kind of hops out and he's like kind of like scarred for life, but at the same time he's like, dude, that was fucking sick. And he walks over and he tells you about like where this like other town that you guys would be getting to is. It's about 2 days out. And he's like, yeah, we can work our way over there after resting here for a little bit.
Sounds good. I do want to talk to the commander a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to thank you for everything you did to get the people safe from harm's way. You did the bigger job. I was just here with enough muscle to do some damage to the monster, but you guys did a lot of damage to it yourselves. So I'm glad nobody got hurt too badly. And if anybody died, please let me know so I can I would like to say good thanks to their family and maybe pay for any problems that they're gonna go through.
Well, he looks at you and he's like kind of shaken by what you just said, because like they haven't had the time to consider their losses. They've been fighting this monster like every day for like 4 days now. And so like obviously many people have died, but he's kind of like shocked at like the character that you have. And obviously like he recognizes you. You're Crosswise with Graham's disciples, and he immediately on the spot, due to your like you convinced him that you weren't insane somehow, and then you showed him kindness, and also you saved them. And without like Momo even having to intervene, he shakes your hand and he looks at you. He tells you that he is actually the only government official in this town. He's like the representative for this town. And he's been forced to have to deal with like the bullshit that their team's been making them suffer with, and he knew what was happening. He couldn't tell his people because he can't tell them like, oh yeah, our team is abandoning us. And so he immediately on the spot like shakes your hand and he goes, we would like to have our territory be under the flag of Graham's disciples.
We would love to have you, and honestly, I pat him on the shoulder. You've put in so much work over this long, arduous journey. Save all these people and keep all of your people, their morale high. You've put the biggest strain on yourself, and people like you are tough it out and make sure the people below them that look up to them could live another day are who we strive to have in Graham's disciples. So I'd love to have you.
Yeah, that's convincing. That'll convince him. That will convince him. Yeah. Yeah, this is Graham's disciples territory without even like Momo didn't have to intervene. He's willing to do the paperwork himself. Yeah, you have just instantaneously won that. That 1 int check carried you because he would have thought you were a psychopath.
Yeah.
But he rolled a 90. So yeah, you have saved the town. You've gotten the respect of the people. You've saved everybody. They let you rest there for free. You're kind of touted as like a hero. And the session ends as you take your rest.
I also like to say that, I'll help with the reconstruction efforts of the days that I have before the next journey. And I wish all you guys out there watching the role plays, that you do a little something nice for somebody. Have a good one, good week.
Look at this guy.
Like, hey, let me ask you. The people are asking how many viewers were on my journey.
How
What a
many
view count?
viewers? What was the view count?
Yeah,
Considering
what's the
that
view count?
considering that you
What are the ratings?
considering that you were I don't know, like um you were
Roll a raw D100, Quay.
That's actually a good question. Yeah, roll a raw
Oh.
D100. I know
Fair.
I know roughly the amount of people that were watching, but I can't call it. That's pretty good.
So that's
Um
69,000 people viewers.
well,
Ratings were high.
if you want, we can say 690,000, Quay.
Okay, yeah, that high viewage.
Because people keep track of teams in this race. And Grimm's Disciples is a small market. If you were working with like White Lotus or something, that'd have been a few milli for sure, bare minimum. So yeah, good shit, good session, guys. And I'm gonna end the recording now.